Morning, everybody. We'll get this Metro Outer Assessment Panel meeting underway. The meeting open at 9:32. So acknowledge that we're hosting this meeting on the traditional land of the MODAP people of the Noongar Nation. We acknowledge the Aboriginal people as the traditional custodians of Western Australia and pay respect to elders past and present and the ongoing connection between people, land, waters and community. This meeting will be run in accordance with the DAP Standing Orders 2025 and the DAP Regulations 2011. The meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the DAP website. Panel members may refer to technical devices throughout the meeting to assist them in considering the information before them. My name is Clayton Hyam and I am the presiding member for today's meeting. With me I have Eugene Coltaz, who is the deputy presiding member, and online Heidi Herget, who is the third specialist member. And with us from the City of Joondalup, we have councillors Pizzi and Hill. And later on for the City of Kwinana matter, we have councillors Rouse and Acker. There is an apology from Councillor Rowan O'Neill from the City of Joondalup. And item 3, noting of minutes, the panel members note that the minutes of previous meetings are available on the DAP website. We'll move to part B of the agenda, which is the City of Joondalup item. I'm seeking declarations of due consideration. Panel members duly considered all the documentation before you. If you show of hands for that, please. Thank you. Disclosures of interest. Does this matter go to a council meeting or briefing session? No. Okay then, thank you. Are there any disclosures of interest? No. Okay, thank you very much. We'll move to, there's no Form 1 item, but there's a Form 2 item which we're dealing with today, which is the Marina Boulevard Ocean Reef new commercial development, the removal of childcare centre premises, vehicle bay reduction and modifications to the main shopping centre building. We have a presenter online, Megan Gammon. Megan, and also, of course, there's Jason Patalivo from Saracen Properties. Just reminding you, under the DAP standing orders, you've got 3 minutes for your presentation. Following that, we'll see if members want to ask you questions. So over to you, Megan.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, look, good morning all. Megan Gammon from Urbis. I'm representing Saracen this morning. I won't take up much of your time at all as the city's RAR covers the proposed changes and justification in sufficient detail. So broadly, Saracen's been progressing with the centre redevelopment and that includes the delivery of the pad sites on Kringle Street. This current amendment, and there has been a few amendments to the original approval, is a result of Saracen advancing its tenancy leasing program, its detailed design and its feasibility assessment. It's proposing to remove the childcare, which was originally proposed as a gym, and replaced with a smaller footprint of consulting rooms. In addition, and I guess critically to the feasibility, Saracen seeking to remove the basement piling and set back the basement car parking to ensure feasibility of the development. So while this will result in some loss of car bays, the smaller footprint on the upper level for the consulting rooms compensates for this. The proposal has been supported by the city. We've been engaging closely with them on this and our other amendments. It meets the car parking requirements, actually delivers an improved car parking outcome from the original shortfall that was supported, and it complies with all the acoustic and other requirements. So ultimately, this amendment, in our view, is minor. It will ensure the development is financially feasible and it will allow Saracen to get out on site literally within the next couple of weeks. So that's all from me. I think it's well covered in the RAR. I'm available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Members of the panel, are there any questions of the presenter? No. Councillors? No? No? Oh, sorry, is there a question there? Councillor Hill, was that a question?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question, if I may, through you, Chair.
Yes.
I'd just like to gain an understanding from Ms. Gammon regarding the usage of the childcare, stroke gym, stroke consulting rooms. Just talk me through the timeline of those changes in use and the rationale for those changes in use. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Really, it has just been an evolution of the tenancy leasing program. So originally there was a gym, and then a childcare, and I guess the latest change to consulting rooms was really driven by the basement car parking works and Saracen's tenancy program, which established that there was some demand for additional consulting rooms in the area. Ultimately, with the gym, which is it attracted quite a lot of car parking provision, given the need to undertake the basement piling work and remove some of that car parking. I guess to compensate for that, Saracen was looking at an alternative use for that upper floor, and consulting rooms is aligned with their, I guess, investigations around the demand in the area. So look, we think this is very typical of shopping centre redevelopments. There is obviously a vision at the start, but that does change as you move through the detailed process. So that's why we've ended up with what we are proposing today.
Further question?
Yeah, if I may continue, just for my own clarity then. So obviously the removal of the piling and the change to the configuration. So that in itself has not led to the change in use to consulting rooms. It was, as you just said, due to an identification of a demand for consulting rooms. Just want to clarify
Yes.
that point. Thank you.
Yes, it was a bit of both. So Saracen has been investigating demand for uses for those tenancies for some time. And there was a demand for consulting rooms, I guess, coupled with the fact that they had to look at an alternative scenario for that basement, which resulted in nearly a loss of 30 car bays. They needed to compensate. So it was kind of two drivers that allowed for this, but it kind of ended up in a positive way. The consulting rooms, because they derive a lesser amount of car parking, it was a sort of a preferred scenario for them. So it was a bit of both in answer to your question.
Thank you. And if I may continue through the chair.
You may.
Yep. So obviously there was some, in the last community consultation, there was some concern about the noise from the gym. But from your responses, it seems like the decision to change consulting rooms was driven by other factors. But obviously by changing from a 24-hour gym to consulting rooms, that alleviates the concerns raised generally by the community consultation. Would that be correct? Thank you.
That would be correct. I guess just to touch on that, the gym, although we fully note that there was some concerns raised by the community, there was quite a lot of acoustic investigation undertaken, and that was all deemed to be compliant with the noise regulations. Notwithstanding, yes, it does address some of those concerns raised.
And I do have a final question, if I may continue through the chair. So you just mentioned that this would enable a decision to support this would enable you to be on site in a couple of weeks. Does that, just for my own information, does that clarify then that the construction work would be expected to commence in the fairly near future? Thank you.
Yes, I understand. Saracen's been in close consultation, I believe, with the City of Joondalup just around building permits and the like. Obviously, the decision today is a key factor in them progressing this, but their timeframe and program to get on site is quite tight. So they'll be working very hard to get out on site as soon as possible.
Thank you. That's my questions completed.
Thank you, Councillor. Any further questions from panel members? No. Okay. Thanks very much, Megan. We'll move to the officers now. Are there any comments that you want to make, given that we've read all the material? So we're happy just to go straight to questions.
Absolutely, Chair. Just happy to go straight to questions if there are any.
Thank you. Members of the panel, are there questions of the officers? Yes, Councillor Hill.
Yes, thank you, and good morning, Catherine. I just wanted to touch base based on the previous response there about construction schedule and just seeking confirmation from the city regarding the status of discussions on potentially moving forward subject to this approval today with regard to building permits, etc. Thank you.
Great. Thank you through the chair. Yes, the comments that were made by Megan from Urbis are correct. The city has had discussions with Urbis and Saracen in relation to the building permit. Obviously, as Megan mentioned, the decision today is a critical factor in determining whether the building permit for the next stage can proceed for them.
Thank you. That's all the questions I had.
Okay. Any further questions from members? No. Okay. Thank you very much, Catherine, for that. We'll move to the item, there is a responsible authority report with recommendation to firstly accept the application as a Form 2 and then approve with some modified conditions, advice notes and a deletion of the advice note. I'm seeking a mover for that to start with. Is there a yes, Councillor Hill? Thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Pizzi, thank you very much. Councillor Hill as mover.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to move this motion in support of the recommendation as printed before us. I've heard the presentation this morning from Urbis/Saracen and the response from the City of Joondalup officers, and I'm confident that given the community consultation that any concerns are no longer particularly relevant to this, and I'm sure that the wider community of the area are keen to see the work progress. So I'm happy to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hill. Councillor Pizzi as seconder.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to support what is in front of us today. I don't think there's anything else to add to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Further speakers on the item? Yes, member.
Yes. Look, I support the proposal. There's logical reasons behind the modifications, both financial and leasing reasons. The impact is the changes reduce the impact on parking demand and traffic in the locality. There's the materiality of the change of the building doesn't change. The modifications are going to use the same colour palette and materials, and therefore I support the proposal.
Thank you. Further speakers? Member Hergert, did you wish to speak? No? Look, I'm happy to support the proposal. The changes are really quite minor. I note the shortfall in parking and also note that this shortfall is less than previous shortfall in the approved plans. And while that isn't necessarily a reason or a planning reason to exercise discretion, the proposed change in use of the previously approved gym tenancy and the proposed ratio of parking is acceptable in my view. So I'm happy to support with the amended conditions and advice notes. So back to the mover. Councillor Hill, did you want to close debate?
Yeah, I have nothing further to add. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you to the councillors and officers for your attendance, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Moving on. Councillors on board. Welcome to Councillors Rouse and Acker to this part of the meeting. To declarations of due consideration, councillors and members of the panel, can you, by show of hands, indicate that you've duly considered all the documentation in this part? Thank you very much. Are there any disclosures of interest? Councillors, did this go to a council meeting or a briefing session?
Yeah, no meeting or a briefing session, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Are there any disclosures of interest? No. Okay, thank you. We'll move to the item, which is the proposed medical clinic, eating house and shop at Quartermain Boulevard in Mandogla. We have a presenter this morning who is here in person. That is Alessandro Stagno from Apex Planning. And we also have Arthur Majewski from Cube. So over to you, Alessandro. You've got your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, presiding member. Good morning to members. Hopefully shouldn't need 3 minutes. There's not really much to say. City Kwinana has prepared a very comprehensive and well set out RAR. It addresses the relevant town planning considerations and provides a very sound rationale for the subject application. Subject development reflects a well-considered site layout, built form, traffic access and landscaping approach, which was supported both by the city and their independent design reviewer. The land use mix will provide a very community-focused hub on land that's been identified for commercial purposes under the relevant structure plan. We also note the considerable level of community support that was received during the DA process, with around 61% of submissions very much in support of the proposal, and noting that there will be a great improvement of amenity to the local area. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions. We request that the panel adopts the recommendation of approval in front of us today.
Thanks, Alessandro. Panel members, are there questions of the presenter? No. All right. Thank you very much. Move to the officers. We've got Chris, Valentine, Asher, Logan. Is Asher there?
Asher's not in attendance. It's just me.
Okay, Christopher, that's fine. You happy just to take questions?
Certainly.
Okay, then. All right. Are there questions of the officers? Yes, Heidi, Member Hergert.
I've got just one question about the findings of the road safety audit. Is council comfortable with the way that the proposed improvements are required to be delivered under condition 10? Do they reflect the findings of the road safety audit, and are these improvements intended to be funded and delivered by the applicant?
Condition 10, the requirement to submit basically for engineering approval prior to a building permit, reflects the comments of our engineering team made after their review of the road safety audit. Those works would need to be at the applicant's cost.
All right, thank you.
Any further question? Yes, Councillor Rose.
I note that the city has no objections to the findings of the bushfire management plan, and they recommend a condition requiring its implementation should be applied if the DEP chose to approve this. I don't see a condition in there. Is it something where the city wants us to include?
Oh, let me have a look.
Sorry, Chris, that's something I should have maybe raised earlier on with the...
That's okay.
Just looking.
I noticed an urban setting, but there's that concerns around the dog park ornamental planting.
Yeah, we will need a condition for that. My apologies for the oversight.
Chris, can you, while we're perhaps debating or when we get into it, if you can provide some wording for a
certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further questions of Chris?
Just
Yes, member.
Chris, what's profile traffic calming device?
What's profile? That is the wording that's come from our engineering officer. I think that's a pretty standard type of profile for a speed bump. I think it's one with a flattened top. So it's one that vehicles have to basically all four wheels go up onto the bump and then it goes down, rather than a small raised bump which hits both wheels separately. I think that's the best way I can describe it.
That's okay. I thought it was, but I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, in terms of condition 9, would you normally include that in a construction or requirement for a construction management plan? Which is not here. I'm just wondering whether you would have a construction management plan condition normally.
We have put that as a separate condition. I think it could be satisfactorily put into a construction management plan condition if you want to fold it together. Dust is the most relevant issue at the construction stage, so I think that would be
But do you have a
fair modification.
you have a standard construction management condition? And I didn't see one in there, that's all.
No, we don't have a standard one as such. I can prepare one, and that can include dust amelioration measures.
Yeah. Any further questions? No? All right, thank you. We'll move to the item. You can just have a look at those two requests.
Just a comment, presiding member, Chris. One of the conditions on the previous item we discussed at the City of Joondalup, there's a construction management planning condition. If it would help, I could quote that one for you. That it's a rather generic one, but would cover the issues. Like
yeah, generic is fine, I think. Yeah.
One from last week.
Yeah, when the time comes, we'll craft that.
Thank you.
Given that it's also got, well, I'll go on that later. Thank you.
Okay. I'm seeking a mover and a seconder. Is there a mover? Thank you, Councillor. Seconder? Yes, Councillor Acker. Thank you. Councillor Rouse.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I support the recommendation to approve this application and eventually with the amended conditions for bushfire management and construction plan. As there is no local centre zone identified in the City's local planning scheme 2, all these land uses proposed for the site have been treated as discretionary land uses. However, under the Joondalup West local structure plan, the site is identified as a local centre zone, and the city's LCAX class of medical centre is a non-preferred land use. But in this case, considering it sits atop of a cafe and a pharmacy, which are both suitable for local zone, and also the medical centre includes a dental clinic, which is also suitable use. I think it's reasonable that we can use that discretion to support this part of the development. All uses are compatible with the sensitive school site across the road, and the education part of it has no objections. There have been a few public submissions concerned objecting to the scale and height of the development, but it is consistent with the commercial zoning of the site and it's appropriate for the location. Although I find it a little bit difficult for me to get a true visual of the finished products with the drawings provided, but I'm confident with the design review findings and responses to the design review by the applicant that the outcome will result in a pleasing and desirable streetscape. There is a minor shortfall, very minor shortfall in the requirement numbers for parking, but that's insignificant considering this is a neighbourhood centre and a high number of patrons will be visiting on foot or on bicycle. I see bicycle parking has been included in condition 14, and there is an indication by the PTA that this will be used as a bus route, so a lot of people will be utilising that site, and I'm sure a lot of people will be visiting on foot, walking their dogs. Traffic projection numbers show the development should not result in any significant impacts on the surrounding road network. Mind you, that may come eventually with the school site being built in the future. Waste management, noise and lighting have been or will be addressed and are acceptable. The improved sight lines and suitable treatments have been included as a condition to make exiting the car park safer. There may be a couple of issues with the entry and exit points on the roundabout, but we all know roundabouts are hard enough for Perth drivers to navigate as they are. So, yeah, the proposal is generally of good quality. Size and scale should complement the area and the needs of local residents. It's pleasing that there are no significant impact on the existing enclosed dog park, which I know is popular with locals, and I'm sure they'll be hopeful that the new cafe owners will be providing puppuccinos. And so there I support the approval of the proposed development with the listed conditions and those soon to be amended conditions as well. Thank you.
Councillor Rouse. Councillor Acker.
Thank you, Chair. I'm satisfied that the application demonstrates sound planning merit and it aligns with the local planning scheme. So therefore, I support the recommendation for approval. I don't have as long as a preamble as my fellow councillor, but yeah, with those conditions, I support the application. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Further speakers?
Yes, I'd like
Member
to
Coltaz.
speak in support. In doing so, I'd like to introduce an amendment.
Yes, by all means.
Amendment 1, the construction management plan wording to read: a construction management plan shall be submitted to and approved by the city prior to the commencement of development. The management plan shall include details regarding mitigation measures to address the impacts associated with construction work such as dust and vibration, and shall be prepared to the specification and satisfaction of the city. The construction work shall be undertaken in accordance with the approved construction management plan.
So that's a replacement of condition 9. Currently. Okay. All right. Is there a seconder for amendment 1? Yes, Heidi. Thank you very much. Jean, did you want to?
Yes, I think that the issue of dust and vibration generally emanates from construction works. There are nearby residential properties, and I think that it's usually required when sensitive land uses are nearby, and issues such as vibration can travel quite a bit, and I'm sure that the proponents would probably, through their builder, undertake dilapidation surveys of residents nearby, and that will probably be part of the construction management plan that the city would develop.
Member Hergood as seconder.
Just to follow on from Member Coltaz, I agree with everything that he has to say with respect to the dust and vibration as it falls out of the acoustics. So I support this change in condition.
Right, thank you. Any further speakers on the amendment? No. Okay, I'll want to wind up the debate.
Just that, yes, just confirming the deletion of condition 9 and replacing it with this condition.
Right. I'll put that amendment 1. All in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. Floor still with you.
Amendment to the bushfire management plan. Chris, do you have a wording for that?
Yes. Recommended condition is the recommendations of the bushfire management plan prepared by Bushfire Logic, dated 15th of August 2025, must be implemented to the satisfaction of the city.
Okay, I'm moving that.
Okay, is there a seconder for that one? Councillor Rouse, thank you. Member Coltaz.
No further comment. We discussed that, the reason for it, and it was just an administrative oversight, so we'll include that.
Any further discussion on that?
Nothing for me.
Nothing. Okay. I'll just check the secretary. You've got the wording for that one, did you? Right.
Chris, if he could send it through, that'd be good.
Yes, can you send that through to the desk? Thank you. Very good.
Excuse me, Chair, can I just confirm, was that prior to lodgement of a building permit or prior to occupancy?
Well, compliance would be required on an ongoing basis.
Right.
Yeah.
So the plan has to be.
Was already prepared.
It's already prepared, so it's just compliance.
Correct.
Yes. All right, I'll put that amendment. All in favour? Heidi, against?
She's frozen in time.
Heidi's frozen. Hang on.
Yeah, she's second.
Can you hear me? No, here we go.
Which way did you voted in favour? Did you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. I'll still with the member.
Look, just supporting the proposal. The design of the building went through a design review panel that was supported. There were some modifications required that the proponents complied with that. The development has addressed issues of parking, traffic access, environmental noise assessment. Assessment was prepared, and recommendations for some acoustic fencing. So I think it's any concerns raised by the opponents or the submissions not supporting have been addressed, and I think the development should be well supported by the cappuccino set.
Okay. Further speakers? Member Hercote. No? Okay. If I too support the proposal, it aligns with the objectives and intent of the planning framework, being the local planning scheme number 2 and the structure plan. I note the submissions made through the public consultation process, but in my view, these concerns have been addressed or will be addressed through the conditions to be imposed. The centre is at an appropriate scale, in my view, both in floor space terms and the physical scale being only 2 stories. DRP been generally supportive of it, and I think there were some good changes that came out of the DRP process. And as we've heard before, that there's a small parking shortfall, but that's acceptable in my terms. Also, note the changes in sight lines to assist with the traffic in and out of the roundabout. So I fully support the development as proposed. Back to you, Councillor Rouse, as the mover to one.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Nothing further from me. I think it's been well discussed and all in agreement.
Thank you. I'll now put the substantive motion as amended. All in favour? That's carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Just to finish off this part of the meeting, no Form 2, there's no SAT matters. Other business, the SAT applications are listed, and I will close the meeting at 10:04, and thank you to the councillors and Member Hercote for attending online, and all panel members, to the presenters and to the staff. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.